My husband and I decided to celebrate Thanksgiving with nearby friends this year instead of traveling for family, a Friendsgiving if you will. I have everything prepared already, actually ordered a Thanksgiving meal for 15 people even though there's only around 10 of us. One of my friends, whom I've known for 5 years, has been going through a tough time recently, and I wanted her to come, especially since it would be really weird if she was in town and wasn't invited. My friend, let's call her Tina, has been engaged to her fiancé Max for over 5 years. They were engaged before I met her. My husband and I have always hung out with Tina and Max as a couple, and this past year, Tina told me that she has a crush on Max's friend Tom, whom we know well but aren't friends with. I tried to support her and be a good friend, but since she was sharing details about how she flirted with Tom when he visited, and the physical interactions they had, I told her I wasn't comfortable hearing those details. I explained that it wasn't fair for her to put me in this position, especially since she wasn't breaking up with Max, and I would have to see him again. This made me feel like a liar, even though I had done nothing wrong. She was upset with me, but understood and apologized. Over time, I noticed that things progressed between her and Tom, even though she was still engaged to Max. When she complained about her personal life being a mess, I tried multiple times to convey that this wasn't right, and she should be honest with Max, either working things out or breaking up. I believe she understood that she didn't have my support in this, so she stopped discussing it altogether. Despite the situation, we continued to hang out with her and Max, and I hope that she had resolved things and ended things with Tom. Now, here is when the problem starts. This Friday evening, we were out with a group of friends, including Tina and Max, and I was surprised to see that they had invited Tom too. Max mentioned something about Tom being closer to them and frequently visiting their house. I didn't like hearing that, but it's none of my business. However, towards the end of the evening, our other friends were talking about how they couldn't wait for the Thanksgiving dinner, and Tina said to Tom, "You should come too, it'll be fun." She invited him to my house, my party, knowing full well that I don't support whatever cheating is happening between them. Tom said he would love to, and in that moment, I just couldn't speak. My husband said it was a great idea, and that sealed the deal. An important piece of information: my husband knows nothing about what is going on with Tina and Tom because I wanted to respect her privacy and didn't want to reveal her secrets to anyone, including my husband. After Friday night, I've been feeling sick to my stomach and so frustrated. So, I decided to cancel the Thanksgiving party from being at our house, and I asked one of my friends if she could host it instead if I sent all the food there. I purposely chose the one friend who doesn't know Tom at all and wasn't with us on Friday evening, so since he's not in the original text group where we sent the invitation, he's not invited. Tina was furious with me and sent me a long message saying I had no right to do that just to uninvite Tom, because I have no idea what has happened between them since I refused to hear details. The audacity and disrespect was unbelievable. I'm thinking of cutting her off from my life entirely, but first I needed to calm down and thought to ask, if by any chance, am I wrong and overreacting? Update 1. Tina has proceeded to practically bully me with texts over 3 days, telling me things like, "You're not a good friend because you don't want me to be happy," and, "You're a professional failure because you didn't get that job you wanted." Given all the drama, it didn't make sense to keep it a secret from my husband, so I told him. He decided that it's better that we tell Max, not only because he deserves to know, but also because we will cut her out of our lives, so Max will have questions anyway. We decided to do it after Thanksgiving, and we're trying to decide whether or not to tell Tina beforehand, so she could tell him first if she wanted to. This was so that Tina wouldn't feel like it was a betrayal of some sort, not that she deserves any grace at this point, but for basic human decency. We decided we would go to the Thanksgiving dinner and not provoke any drama so that the night wouldn't be ruined for the rest of our friends. There was no reason to believe that Tina would cause any scenes because she was acting normal in the group chat, and even joked about something I said, even though separately she was sending me rage messages, cringe by the way. However, this late afternoon, I learned that she had created an additional group chat and told our friends that I had been spreading lies about her to them, and anything I had told them was a lie to make her look bad, even though I hadn't spoken to them yet. My plan was to simply communicate to them that I had cut Tina out of my life, without providing any details other than saying that she tried to involve me in situations that made me uncomfortable. I also had planned to tell them that they didn't need to choose between me or her, and that we could still hang out, and I wouldn't mind skipping the events where they wanted to invite Tina. Not optimal, but the best I could have done. In addition, she asked them to choose between her and Max, and me and my husband, because she couldn't stand to be in the same group of friends as me anymore after I ruined her life. Needless to say, my friends were super confused. They reached out to me almost immediately, and I showed them all the messages and told them everything. The friend who was hosting tomorrow said that apparently Tina had asked if she and Max could bring a friend, most probably Tom. After an hour-long conversation with my friends, we decided to tell Max collectively today, and not have them join the dinner tomorrow, but Max could still come if he wanted to. One of the friends called Max and told him we all needed to speak with him, and to come alone. He showed up less than 20 minutes later, but he showed up with Tina. She was already in a rage and started yelling at everyone. We managed to tell him through a lot of drama and denying. Turns out he had a hunch and didn't want to admit it to himself. Also, it turns out that they are both pieces of crap because he was apparently in a serious relationship with Tina's friend before leaving her for Tina. We are all glad they are out of our lives. In a last low blow, Tina told me in front of everyone to take care of my marriage instead of her relationships because, according to her, when she and Max lived with us for a few months prior, she had an affair with my husband. Of course, I don't believe it, but it left such a bitter taste. She sent a photo to our group chat of a necklace that belonged to my husband's family's heirlooms, claiming that he gave it to her. That is her only proof. For all I know, she might have taken it. He wouldn't be as stupid as to give her something that distinctive. Update 2. One thing has happened at work related to Tina. We work at the same institution, a big university. I do clinical research and teaching at the university, but I am also a medical doctor, so for part of the week, I am at the hospital practicing, and I never lock my office. Yesterday, I went to my office in the afternoon after a couple of hours at the hospital, and I realized that my degrees were gone. Not the frames, just the degrees. I sat there and ugly cried and finally realized how hard this entire year has been. I have my PhD degree electronically, but I don't know if I will be able to replace my medical degree. I'm kind of heartbroken over this, and I am convinced it was Tina. This is such a psycho thing to do, and there's no one else who would have done it. I reported it to the building manager but didn't mention her name. I did make an appointment with HR for Monday though, and I am thinking of telling them that I think it was her. I'm sad at the situation though, as much of a crap she is. If she loses her job because of me, I would feel bad as that's still someone's livelihood. I still need to tell them because she is in contact with a lot of vulnerable people who are part of our clinical studies, such as older adults with dementia, and I get goosebumps thinking about the stuff that goes on inside her brain behind her fake smile, and the fact that she gets to be alone with these people. I'm sure she does nothing wrong, but still.